Sit back and throw one back with your pinkies in the air and a middle finger to the world. And join me, the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, as we look back on this day in pro wrestling history. But before you do, put that drink down, like, share, and subscribe, and give me that big old thumbs up. Now let's get our wrestling history on. Alrighty, here we are. It is January 4th. We're going to start off with the happy birthdays because I like to start off on a positive note, especially this day here in wrestling history. We have two notable birthdays. The underachiever of all underachievers, Jim Powers, was born in 1958 in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Jim, God, what a body that guy had. What a look that guy had. But just never could get over that hump. When and where do you think Jim had his best opportunity to get over? Was it in Power and Glory in the WWF days, or was it in one of his runs in WCW? Tell me in the comments below. The other notable birthday for January 4th in professional wrestling is Who's Better Than Kanyon? Well, on this day in 1970, in Sunnyside, New York, we got Chris Kanyon. What was your favorite Chris Kanyon moment? Was it when he was Mortis going against Glacier? Was it his Who's Better Than Kanyon jersey gimmick? What was your favorite Chris Kanyon moment? Alright, turnabout's fair play. Time for the other side of the coin. Notable deaths in professional wrestling for January 4th. On this day in 2007, we lost Cowboy Lang, who was 57 years old at the time. Unfortunately, Cowboy Lang died while being homeless at a homeless shelter. Cowboy Lang, for those of you who don't know who he was up there in the main event, main tier midget wrestlers in the 70s and 80s, most notably making a tag team with Lord Littlebrook, mostly wrestling in Canada for Stampede Wrestling. Whew. Alright, enough of the depressing stuff. Let's get down to the big moments on this day in pro wrestling history. In 1929, Gus Sonnenberg defeats Ed Strangler Lewis to win the World Heavyweight title in Boston, Massachusetts. In 1962, Chris and John Tolos win the Toronto version of the NWA International Tag Team title for the second time, defeating Whipper Billy Watson and Yukon Eric. Whew, the legends in that match, telling you. In 1986, Arn Anderson defeats Wahoo McDaniel in a tournament final to win the vacant NWA World Television title in Greensboro, North Carolina. In 1989, Eric Embry defeats Cactus Jack for the World Class Light Heavyweight title. Not a great day for Cactus Jack, aka Mick Foley, but I have a feeling that in the future, he'll have a better day. Why? What a wonderful segue, because this day in 1999 was one of the most pivotal moments in the Monday Night War, and Mick Foley was in the center of it. The Monday Night War continued and featured two very infamous moments, both occurring on WCW Monday Night Nitro. WWF Raw is War show, taped December 28th in Worcester, Massachusetts, at the Centrum Center, won the night with a 5.7 rating. That rating was contributed to by Tony Schiavone's comments that Mankind would win the WWF World title on Raw, and said the infamous line, "That'll put a lot of butts in seats," during Nitro. Nitro was live from WCW's home base of Atlanta, Georgia at the Georgia Dome, and featured the Finger Poke of Doom match, when Hollywood Hogan would simply poke WCW World Champion Kevin Nash in the chest as the two faced off, causing him to fall to the mat and Hulk Hogan pinning him to win the WCW World title. A lot of people contribute that night to be the pivotal night that everything changed. The day that WCW died in a lot of people's minds. What do you think? Was this the moment that killed WCW? Or was it just a brick that continued to lay the foundation for the end. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it. I'm about ready to go to the bar and grab myself another drink. You all have a wonderful night, because this was your day in professional wrestling history.